This is the San Diego Sports Junkies, a show for fans by the fans, with Josh Taylor, Justin Smead, and Jason Eidsmoe. We're talking Padres, Chargers, and Aztec sports.
Gotta hit it to the right place. And he hits it out to center. Right center. Blackman's got a long way to go. He's still going.
Off the wall.
And it is off the wall. It takes a funny hop. Kemp is rounding second. He's heading to third. And Matt Kemp into third base with a triple and the first cycle in the history of the San Diego Padres.
He will hand it off. Tomlinson plows his way towards the goal line. LaDainian Tomlinson, one step closer to football immortality. Tomlinson has tied the single-season record. And the handoff to Tomlinson. Left side, and he will gallop into the end zone. Charger fans are witnesses to history.
Pope thought about it. Now steps up. And the freshman hits the jumper at the buzzer.
Well, this kid is some prospect. Big time length, big time game.
Pope straight away three. Counted. Malik Pope. Pope. Off glass and good. On the other end, Joel doesn't miss that one. Shepard alley-oop to Pope. He got up there. Oh, wow.
It's time to let your voice be heard.
All right, welcome back, everybody. It is Sunday. It's 9 o'clock. That means it's time for the San Diego Sports Junkies pregame show. We got the Chargers versus the Texans. Joining me, I'm Jason Eidsmoe. Anybody who listened to our 200th show understands that Positive Patty has died, so I am going to be realistic Rob today.
Rest in peace, Patty.
Rest in peace, Patty.
Condolences to her family.
Yes, it's been a rough time, that's for sure.
Is that is now Positive Patty dead just for the remainder of this season, or will she be resurrected for next season?
We will have to see. To see. That's
God.
That's a tease. That's what they call in the biz a tease.
Man, I thought you would have came to your senses and just put it to rest forever.
So far, that's my mentality, but you never know. You guys know me too, so we'll have to see what happens. I'm hoping to keep Positive Patty dead just for this season. It's tough to squash her down. Join as always Justin Smead via Skype. Justin Smead is Downer Dave.
Downer Dave today, yes, sir.
Mike Maciejewski will be joining us later. He wanted to be called.
Here.
Oh, he is here, and I only wanted to say this once, and I'll only say this once. He's going to be picked off Phillip. That's the only time you're going to get me to say that. And joining us always, Jake Hefner from BoltBeat.com, and he's just going to be Jake today, I think, or Mr. Trump.
No, we're gonna Mr. Trump. Unfortunately, he's not able to make every week appearances with all his new responsibilities that he has. He won't be joining us this morning.
He's got a lot of stuff to do, that's for sure. The 4-6 Chargers will be playing against the 6-4 Texans. Actually, before we even start about that, everybody have a really nice Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there listening. And I had a fantastic Thanksgiving. Spent a lot of time with family. Everybody have a good Thanksgiving, Justin?
Yeah, everything was good.
Yeah, nice, huh? And then Jake, good Thanksgiving?
It was very nice.
And we don't care about you, Mikey, but I ask you anyways. Good Thanksgiving.
It was great because I didn't see my family. It was fantastic. I'm just kidding.
And now Jason feels like
Oh, gosh.
Oh,
Thanks
man.
for asking about our Thanksgiving.
So the 4-6 last place Chargers are going to be playing against the 6-4 first place Texans. The game is in Texas. First of all, I want to remind everybody that this is game 11 of our precious 16 games. So as disappointed as we are and as upset as we are, remember, we only get 16 a year.
Patty
We only get 16 a year, so enjoy it. Enjoy the game. The Chargers, the Texans are 5-0 at home this year, and they're at home today. The Chargers only have one road victory, so it's the stars are aligning for the Chargers to lose. But
they're realistic, Rob.
Yes, don't worry. You wait till we get to the prediction section. I got to ask you guys, the last time the Chargers and the Texans played, I believe it was in 2010. Do you know who the Chargers player of the game was, Jake? Do you know who that was?
Jared Tutu.
That is right.
I remember that because the announcers had such a hard time pronouncing his name during that point in the game.
Yeah.
Even Turner couldn't even pronounce his name correctly in the post game victory speech.
None of us. We still struggle with it a little bit. But inactives today for the Chargers. Brandon Flowers. I have to assume he's probably going to be inactive for the rest of the season. Ronnie Hillman, which we discussed before the show started. It's kind of maybe a surprise, maybe not. It's he just got into town, but I thought maybe they'd try and put something together for him. You don't think that that the Chargers claimed him? I know that there was a need, but do you think that part of it was because the Broncos wanted him, or do you think that they wanted him anyways, Jake?
I think they could have used him anyways. I mean, you still needed a third down back with Dexter McCluster going out. I think it was more of, for possibly just having another complimentary running back, giving possibly a new dimension to the offense as far as being able to use Hillman and what he does best, rather than, what you saw in Minnesota and the way that Denver used him. I think that the way that the Chargers could implement him would be, a good addition to giving Phillip Rivers just another option. But he needs a little bit more time probably to get an acumen into the playbook and the team and the environment. But I mean, it's good, all good things that you hear about him this week as far as taking, extra time after practice, being one of the last people to leave the field as far as, getting everything that he needs to get, ready for the time when it comes when he's actually active and ready to contribute.
Justin, Ronnie Hillman coming in as that third down back, does he have the skills to the receiving skills that the Chargers are kind of used to from Danny Woodhead?
Yeah, I think he provides what you want in a third down running back. He can catch the football. He can make guys miss. He's good in space. He's got speed. So he covers all those attributes. For me, as just a casual fan watching Ronnie Hillman, I've always respected what he can do on the football field. He hasn't had the best luck sticking around with teams. That maybe opportunity type of deal for him. But yeah, I like it. I like them bringing him in. But like Jake alluded to, it's going to take a little time for him to get acclimated. And once we get him on the field, we'll be able to maybe use him on third down downs. So we good.
Aztec Mikey, were you excited when Hillman came to San Diego? Do you think this is a stopgap, or do you think that he has a future here maybe after this season?
I mean, I feel he is a stopgap, and he was the guy I wanted before they got Dexter McCluster because they both were released about the same time. But it's his chance to showcase himself today, or not today, this season, and again, he should be able to come in and spell Melvin Gordon. I just think Melvin Gordon is developing in front of our eyes, and we're not appreciating how he's becoming an all-around back. So
no, that's
he'll be like a little breather kind of guy. Again, just giving himself a chance to see how he fits in the NFL nowadays.
And that kind of, I was going to touch on that later in the show, but since you brought it up, I was concerned about Melvin Gordon's touches. I don't know about anybody else. I know he's been playing very well, and I know he's developing into that back we all hoped and wanted. But he really needs a little help. He can't be doing 30, 35 carries a game. He's going to get killed out there. And it's a great season for him. Don't get me wrong. I know we ride the train here, ride the workhorse, but he needs a little bit of help. Wouldn't you guys say?
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think that somebody needs to I like what Mike said, how he is developing into an all-around back, but I do worry about him getting a little bit too many touches with nobody else behind him. Darren joined us in the chat room. Thanks a lot, Darren. And He has an interesting point. He says, are you guys surprised that the money has moved to the Chargers? The Chargers are favored by 1.5 points right now on the road against a team that's undefeated at home. It seems like with the talent level of the Chargers so depleted right now, that does actually surprise me. Jake, are you shocked by that, or do you think the Chargers should be favored?
No. I mean, I think the line's about right. I mean, considering, obviously you look at the records alone, you look at the injuries coupled with everything else, but I mean, you take into account, a little bit how Houston gave the Raiders a little bit of a run for their money, as opposed to, certain calls that could have easily gone the other way. It definitely could have been a completely different outcome for them. They could be sitting at 7-3 instead of 6-4, which they are right now. So, I think that line's completely fair just based off the circumstances. And again, it doesn't take anything away from the talent that the Chargers have and how close they've been in games for the entire. So I think that line seems pretty accurate.
All right. I kind of disagree with you. I think that the Texans haven't been great this year, but, the Chargers, the Texans at home, I think that they should be given a little bit more love for playing at home, how well they've played. The other, I'm not going to read down the whole list of everybody that's on inactives because it's not that important. But Jatavis Brown is another one who's just having a hard time coming back. Do you? I'm trying to remember now. Is it a knee, Justin, or is it a hamstring with him?
I think I believe it was a knee. Maybe Jake can correct us on that.
It is a knee. You are correct. Okay.
Yeah. So it's one of those things. It's got the San Diego curse on it. These guys, and I'm going to call it a curse at this point because it's absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, no, it's one of those things, and we have to just play with who we have. And it's good that we got Perriman back, and some of these guys had a couple weeks to get these injuries healed up. So I'm excited. I just want to see Perriman play aggressively. I know we're not going to see Mebane for the rest of the year. Let some other guys, Damian Square, get in there and see what he can do, mix it up. I'm really excited about a.k.a. J.J. Watt, Joey Bosa. I think him being on the other sideline is really going to motivate Joey Bosa today. I really expect him to have a really good game.
I'm happy you said the word curse because I've said, all along it's something about the water here in San Diego. My dad is in town for Thanksgiving, and he's been trying to convince me that it's the curse, and he explained it to me this morning. It's the curse of Jack Kemp being traded. Back when they traded Jack Kemp and to Buffalo, and he came into San Diego, or played against San Diego and beat him for the championship 2 games, 2 years in a row. I should have actually had my dad sit down with me and be part of the show this morning. We'll have to do that next time he's in town. But that's his thought on it is it's the curse of trading away Jack Kemp, or letting Jack Kemp. No, not trading him away. I'm sorry. Trying to squeeze him through waivers and losing him. But with that being said, like you guys all know, I don't believe in curses, but I do believe in the power of bad water, and I think that's the case here in San Diego. We're going to take a quick break here. We're going to come back. On the other side, we're going to be talking about Chargers on offense versus the Texans on defense. We'll be right back, boys.
Calling all podcasters. Have you ever wanted your voice to be heard? Do you need help expanding your audience? Are you curious just how far your show could reach? Well, look no further. We are New Media Radio Network, the premier podcast streaming network. Let us take your show to the next level. For more information, check out our website, www.newmediaradio.net.
Cali Comfort Barbecue in Spring Valley was built for West Coast Sunday morning football and fight night. Cali Comfort Barbecue has quickly become San Diego's slow smoke barbecue sports entertainment destination. Full service catering available for all your tailgating needs. CaliComfortSD.com.
We're gonna dazzle you with our play. The time has come. You know we're shooting for number 1. Thunderbolts and lightning.
All right, love that song. I know I say it every time, but I just love it. I can't get past the fact of how much I like that song.
Yeah, that's okay, buddy.
Yeah.
You know what? This is your time to shine. Yes, you're the host. Exactly. You can tell us whatever you like. Okay.
Oh yes.
All right, buddy. You are the host.
Now, I woke up this morning, actually, I'm not going to get too positive, Patty, on you, but I get excited because Chargers football is back. We took a week off, but there's no way that there's anybody more excited today than Jadeveon Clowney. Jadeveon Clowney gets to go up against King Dunlap. You? I mean,
Jason, this is fantastic.
Christmas time. Christmas time is here for him early. He's getting a late Thanksgiving and an early Christmas present. He's probably had this date circled on his his first couple years he had he had some injury problems. He wasn't really performing. This year he's actually looking good, and he's going, that's going to be my statement game.
My concern is King maybe ate too much turkey dinner over the holidays.
I don't think it matters.
I don't think he's worked out in 2 weeks, so he's going to get blown right by.
More than before. Jake, are you worried about the matchup between King Dunlap and Jadeveon Clowney today?
Of course he is.
No,
why don't we just ask like stupid questions on this?
Yeah. I just wanted to let you guys know, Realistic Rob is also Captain Obvious, by the way.
Good.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jake.
I do have an inquiry real quick because I know that Mikey is my villain on this show right now, and since he's so good at knowing all the bad habits of Phillip Rivers, there was actually a tweet that was put out right now by Ricky Henney, showing a live feed from the Houston Texans stadium with a fan that held up a sign that says Rivers hates puppies. And Rivers actually responded to the fan saying, I don't get it. Maybe you can shine some light on why that would be the case, Mikey. Why does Rivers hate puppies?
Why does Rivers hate puppies, Mikey?
I don't know why he hates puppies. I don't know what's wrong with the guy. He probably clubbed seals on his weekends with his kids. They go clubbing seals.
Such a hater.
Terrible. I don't know, man. I don't know what's wrong with that guy. Who doesn't love puppies? I mean, seriously, besides Phillip Rivers, I don't know.
Yeah, Darren chimed in the chat room. He says he's scared Clowney might have about 8 sacks today. People hate on him, but he's really good, and he is really good. And our offensive tackles are really, really bad. So Captain Obvious first says that they have to control Clowney, and the only way to do that really is I think we need to make him worry about having to stop the run as well. And I'm not saying he can't do that because he is an all-around good player, but we can't just let him think all I have to worry about is rushing the passer. Make him at least worry about stopping the run. If he stops the run, he stops the run too, but he might rip Phillip Rivers' head off, which would make Mike happy for all the seal clubbing he's been doing.
Whoa!
But
I'm not like that.
Justin, do you think that Justin, what do you think the key is to controlling Clowney today?
Well, and you hit it. I mean, this is the Department of Redundancy. It lies under the fact that we say it every week. We have to get the run game going. Obviously, that's the key to this offense. If they
focal point,
focal point. Mikey's hashtag.
The wrong focal point, dude.
Yeah, and we can be redundant all we want, but if they don't get the running game going and they are just lining up trying to tee off on Phillip, it's going to be a long day at the office for us, boys. It's not that hard to figure out. If Melvin Gordon can get his carries and get his yardage and make that defense respect the pass, respect the run, I should say, we go over the top, especially with Travis Benjamin. We'll suit up today and play. That's a great thing to stretch the O for us. So, yeah, it lies under that redundant statement. We say it all the flipping time. You got to get Melvin going, and I hope they do often and early.
Mikey, is there a chance of the Chargers being successful against Clowney today?
No.
Honestly,
short and sweet. No, the big thing is the key to neutralize any good player is keep them off the field.
Yeah.
So
good call.
Well,
the problem is you don't want to keep him off the field because that means our defense is on the field.
But I meant like injure him.
Wow.
No.
Take his knees out with a crowbar.
No. Actually, I was thinking,
sweep the knee, Johnny.
As much as Jadeveon Clowney is, super talented, he is known to not always give 100%.
Yes.
And he is known to get nicked up really easily, so you got to be aggressive with him. The guy comes out for a hangnail and misses 3 weeks, So you got to punch this guy in the mouth and really,
spit in his eye.
Set the tone early. And I'm being serious, guys, because, that is the rap on him. That's the one thing you can say about Jadeveon Clowney is he's kind of soft for a big man like that.
Yeah.
He gets hurt very easily. And, you have to punch this guy in the mouth.
And
I'm thinking, run the ball, bring 3 guys on him and teach him, step 1, it's going to be hell today, so you better just back off.
That's a good call, actually. And the problem with him is when he does get injured, he flies into San Diego and lets their training staff get him better. So it takes twice as long as everybody else to recover. Now, Jake, with Clowney, one of the things I wanted to ask you is could the Chargers stop him? Yeah, we could. We could put a tight end on him also. We could put a running back on him, and we could limit him. But to me, the key to the Chargers being successful on offense is to get as many people out into the pattern as possible, which means King Dunlap's going to have to step up a little bit today. He's going to have to slow him down, and I'm worried that if we are able to control Clowney and slow him down, we're only doing that because we have so many people blocking him, and that's really going to limit us offensively. Do you think that? Do you agree with that, or do you think that we should worry about putting 3 guys on him?
I don't know so much about 3. I mean, you still need to compensate. I mean, because here's the issue. It's not just King Dunlap, unfortunately, that we have to worry about. Based off the last 2 games, we also have to look at Joe Barksdale and what he's doing on the right side. The Chargers have not been good at running balls up the middle, and especially you're going to have a chore with that, adding Vince Wilfork into the fold. So obviously Matt Slauson's going to have his work cut out for him today. But if the Chargers want to get anything going in the running game, they're going to really have to just establish, set the edges, being able to get on those outside runs. And I don't know so much if you can actually do that with putting 3 people on Clowney, or putting extra 2 tight end sets, or put a couple extra blockers in there on certain situations. You're getting very predictable if that's the case, and they'll catch on to that. Yeah. But you got to just do your job. And King Dunlap and Joe Barksdale respectively have had 2 consecutive very bad games. If you look back over the last 2 weeks for the Chargers playing. So they definitely need to step their game up. You're going to need to establish the line of scrimmage, get some guys moving up the field. Possibly you may even see a little bit more screen passes for Melvin Gordon, get him out into space a little bit more, show a little bit more versatility in your offense. So you cannot be as predictable as you normally are with Melvin Gordon going into this game. That's for sure, especially if you want to get the run game established early. Focal point, right, Mike?
Yes. Absolutely. And I agree with what you said there. You can't put too many people on him, and that's why I say that as much as I don't think he will, realistic Rob here, I do not think King Dunlap will be able to step up and handle business for us. I understand he's going to get beat, but and I like the fact that you brought up Barksdale, because Christian Covington, who probably people outside of Texas really haven't heard of too much, he's got the second biggest grin on the Texans, and that's because he gets to go up against Barksdale, and I think he might cause a little bit of trouble too. With all that being said, if we aren't giving Dunlap so much help, or if we are giving him help, actually, the wide receivers need to help Philip Rivers. I am realistic, Rob, here, but I still don't think that the problem here is Philip Rivers. I know Mike disagrees with me. The wide receivers need to help him out. They need to get open, and I understand that our number 3, 4 wide receiver is our number 1 wide receiver right now, or our number 2. Depending on how Benjamin is looking. I understand that, but man, these guys have to get some separation. Rivers is going to have to let the ball go quickly. These guys need to do their job, and these guys need to stay on the same page with Rivers. Because another thing, if you notice, there's a lot of miscommunications out there, and once again, I know that you hate this, Mikey, but when there's a miscommunication between the wide receiver and the quarterback, I put that on the wide receiver. I think Philip knows what he's doing out there, and I think these wide receivers need to make sure they get on the same page with him. I know you disagree, Mikey, so I'm going to let you go first. You think the wide receivers are helping out Rivers enough this year?
No, of course not. Hold on a second, guys. Sorry. Can you go somewhere else? Hold on.
Sure. Jake, do you think the wide receivers are helping Rivers out enough this year? Or do you think they need to step up a little bit? Or do you think that maybe that's all they got and we're not going to get anything more out of these guys?
Yeah, we came up with this, 2 weeks ago, as far as on the 200 show, just saying like, hey, we're down to our 3rd and our 4th string wide receivers. We're going to basically get exactly what it says that we're going to get based off of that. Travis Benjamin coming back, that's a nice shot of adrenaline, a little bit more, just another weapon to possibly, give Philip Rivers some help. But we've even seen that throughout the duration of this season, that he hasn't really been the impactful player that we had gone out in free agency and acquired him for. Meanwhile, Terrell Williams and Dontrell Inman, these are still guys that are still learning, how to communicate with Philip, get on the same page with him, build a rapport up with him from a wide receiver and quarterback, and of course the trust factor. So you're right. I mean, anytime that you see something going wrong with Philip Rivers screaming at somebody, most of the time it is the wide receiver fault. I look at it that way. And, it's just one of those unfortunate type of things that we are just depleted in the receiver core this year. It's not what we expected to have at this point of the year, as far as, especially when it was looked at as one of our strengths to start off the preseason. It's just unfortunate that things have gone down this way. So Philip's going to do whatever he can with what he's got out there in the field. And it's funny that we brought it up to start the show, but look what he did with Seiya Tutu back in 2010 when nobody knew who he was. These things are capable of happening, but it just hasn't come to fruition as of yet as much as we would have wanted to.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
All well said. Mikey, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Sorry about the allergies
okay.
there this morning. I mean, let's be real. The receiving core has been pretty subpar. And, you're going to need a lot more from them. And I'm trying to think about, how I was watching the Raider game this last week, trying to figure out how the Raiders were beating the Texans. And it's really just a little bit of everything. But you definitely need one of these guys, to step up and get open on a consistent basis. Because that's really the issue you're having is the separation. And we're all expecting David Clowney to go off today, and really, 8 sacks is not out of the realm of possibility.
It's not. It's not.
I mean, it's not.
It sounds
honestly,
funny, but it's not.
He's like I said. You see guys get 3 sacks. I mean, he's one of the best linemen going against one of the worst linemen in the NFL. So, so you're going to need to get quick throws, and you're going to need to get open quickly, and the receivers are not doing that, and it's going to be a tough matchup. But someone's going to have to step up because there was no one Raider that beat them through the air. It was really, everybody chipped in and did what they needed to do. So someone's going to have to get open every play.
Next point on the offense, they need to reignite Hunter Henry, #focal point. Is this possible here, Justin? Is Hunter Henry, you think, back from his knee injury enough to really be the threat that he was at the beginning of the season?
Well, he better be. He's on my fantasy team. All right. Now, if we're going to cut to the chase here, 2 weeks to heal up even more, get that knee straight. I think he'd be a big factor in this ballgame today. I know Gates is 2 touchdowns away. I know Phillip really wants to get him that record, obviously. But I see Hunter Henry being a factor in this game with a few catches and stretching the middle of the field a little bit. That way, he can match up with any linebacker in this league as far as athletic ability and breakaway speed for a tight end. So I'm excited to see how they use him today.
We are starting to run short on time, so I'm going to jump to one more. I'm just going to jump to a different guy on this next point. Red zone. Chargers have really struggled in the red zone. My thoughts, and actually I was talking to my dad about this yesterday too. We were discussing it. It's the lack of separation from our wide receivers. They have speed, big deal. Once you get inside those 20s, the speed doesn't matter. You need to be better. You need to be more like Keenan Allen. I understand there's only one Keenan Allen, but Keenan Allen was the master of getting open in tight spaces. Jake, with Hunter Henry coming back, who knows what we're going to get with Gates? With this offensive team, do we have the ability to improve red zone, or is that it? Because talent-wise, we're just not going to get any better. Do you think they're going to be any better today?
You bring back, Travis Benjamin and, a healthy Hunter Henry. I still don't believe that the last game that he played, he was 100%, even though he did end up catching a touchdown in that game. But, it definitely gives more options. But it seems like just for some reason, again, our red zone struggles are not as bad as they were last year, but there still is just so much more that the Chargers could do as far as, a difference maker of putting up 7 as opposed to settling for 3. I think Hunter Henry, focal point, will definitely add a little bit more fire to, the red zone options, especially if he is, back to close to 100%. Travis Benjamin, he's not really a red zone threat to any defense. And Phillip really doesn't happen to look for him when it comes down to, between the 20-yard line and the end zone. He normally looks for him from 20-yard line to 20-yard line down the field. Any type of those, we're just not in those type of situations where he can really be utilized to his best advantages. So I think Hunter Henry for sure. And you always got to look for Antonio Gates, like you alluded to. He wants to get him that record to, kind of as a send off to his career. So definitely adds a lot, but I think there could be a lot more as far as, there's just not much with the depletion of the wide receivers as far as your options go, as far as, increasing the level of success in the red zone.
Yeah, we definitely need to get the tight ends more involved. I agree with you there. I don't think the answer is going to be at the wide receivers. I think it's going to be the tight ends and maybe Melvin Gordon, who has done such a good job out of the backfield this year. We need to even get a little bit more from him, and I think we can. Darren brings up a point. I'm going to leave us with this. All this trashing on our line for the first 30 minutes of the show, but let's be real for a second. Would you rather have the Chargers offense or the Texans offense? And that's what we're going to talk about when we come back, when the Texans are on offense and the Chargers are on defense. We'll be right back in a minute, guys.
Respect the name. It's the San Diego Chargers. Feel the lightning bang. Kill the hype, we reign. SP running this game. This is 619 straight born and raised. This ain't no fad or phase. This is Cali for life. We gon' rally tonight. So pump your fist till you get it right. And keep it real so all the day go can feel you buffing out. Sing the anthem so the whole world can hear you.
You need help with your business project that is due? Maybe you need business cards to help your business stand out. We at San Diego Sports Junkies got you covered. SK Digital Imaging can do it all. Give our buddy Sean K a call, 858-408-0732. SK Digital Imaging, from business cards to the bigger projects, SK Digital Imaging and our buddy Sean K will get your printing done right.
Come on! To your hood, don't betray your roots. East, west, north, south, they gon' know your roots. Fly your flag through the city.
Okay, we're back. We are going to talk about when the Chargers are on defense and the Texans are on offense. And let me tell you, that is a good point by Darren. We are upset with the way our tackles have played on the line. I'm actually not. I'm not as upset with the center of the line. The more I think about it. I think Fluker's had a not so bad season. I think Franklin, he maybe not has lived up to what we were expecting, but he hasn't done so bad. And Matt Slauson, of course, I don't think anybody can complain about Matt Slauson. It's just the tackles that have been, to me, have really they've just really it's been really bad. When the San Diego Chargers are on defense and the Texans are on offense, that Texans offense I don't think is really that good. And I think it all starts with the quarterback. Brock Osweiler has not been able to throw the ball deep, and he's really struggled in his decision-making. First thing the Chargers need to do is not let him get going, not let him turn his season around, and which means we know he's not going deep that much. So don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe, guys. Know that he's not going to go deep. Don't worry about that so much, and get a little bit of pressure on him. Justin, does Brock Osweiler worry you at all?
No, and I'm glad Darren brought that up. The only thing that really gives me a lot of hope today is him screwing up. He's not a very good quarterback, guys. I mean, he's not efficient. Maybe last week we saw more efficiency in that Raider game. But overall, he hasn't been very good. He's definitely not worth the money or the contract he's been given. He hasn't lived up to that this year. Not to say he won't get better, but no, he doesn't scare me at all. You have to force him to make throws, and if he can make the throws, good on him. But they really have to make this team one-dimensional. If they can stop the run, shoot, man, this could be a really good day for the Charger defense. I know we're depleted on both sides of the ball, but that's every week. So they just need to find a way to make plays against this subpar quarterback.
Brock Osweiler, can he beat us, Jake?
He can beat us if Lamar Miller gets going. Yeah. And if he, limits his passes and, he only relies really on the short dump offs. But if the run game really becomes the powerhouse for Lamar Miller and Houston's offense to get going and exploit that and wear that defense out, sustain long drives, basically just limit the opportunities that Brock Osweiler has to make mistakes, then yeah, this is obviously a game that can quickly get out of hand. And this is going to be the big question mark, is where, you've seen other guys like Corey Legion and a lot of the other guys in the defensive line step up because of the presence of Brandon Mebane, and that's not there anymore. How is this defense going to react? Obviously, Damian Square has a big gap to fill in the wake of Brandon Mebane leaving, for the season. So how is your defense going to react? I mean, obviously getting Denzel Perryman back this week, that's going to help as far as, being able to stop the run. That's huge. So you're going to have another body back there to hopefully, sustain the run game and hopefully not allow it to kill you too much. But, as Justin alluded to, make them one-dimensional. Make this a situation where Brock Osweiler has to make a mistake. And the Chargers have been very, very good in the turnover department this year. So this is they're going to have some opportunities to force him into making some mistakes, throwing some interceptions, and hopefully being able to take advantage of it.
And that's why I really believe Bosa is going to have an impact on this game today. I don't know why. I really feel like being in J.J. Watt's house, being all those comparisons, him to step up his game to another level with Mebane being out. I think at times Brock Osweiler, I don't think at times, I've seen it, he holds the ball way too long.
Way too long.
And Bosa is one of these guys that will maul tackles and push back that pocket. So look for some sacks today by this Charger D. I really believe they can create some turnovers. Get Phillip in a good position going the other way to get our team some scores. So I think the defense will be impactful today.
The Pro Football Focus rankings, which are to me, they pretty much line up with the eye test. I think that they're really, really accurate. They have the Texans yard per game are 28th, passing yards per game they're 30th, points per game they're 29th, but in pass protection they're ranked 8th, which really, really tells me that their quarterback is really, really lacking because he has a protection. He's not making things happen.
Making the throws.
Here's the problem: we made a trade. We traded Mebane for Damian Square, basically, in our starting lineup. And I think that as good as our running defense was getting, it's going to be a shit show today. I think Lamar Miller is going to run the ball all over the place on us. I know, Mikey, you're a big fan of the D-line and the front seven stopping that run. Are you as nervous as I am about what's going to happen today in the running game? Oh, Mikey's so nervous he got scared and went away.
Mikey.
I was trying to open things up for him, give him a chance.
Oh, sorry. Here it is. Sorry.
Oh,
I'm nervous. Not the fact the run game, but what Jake mentioned, the dump offs. To Lamar Miller. Lamar Miller has shown me this season that he can be explosive in space, and that's the concern really. I agree with Justin as well. I think that what's his name, Joey Bosa is going to be key to getting that pressure because honestly, to me, he's the only guy who consistently can get pressure on the quarterback.
Exactly.
So he's going to have to be key and cause some bad throws and cause some turnovers, or be the one that initiates turnovers happening. But I'm not really concerned about the running game itself. Rather, I'm more concerned about the dump offs and getting Lamar Miller in space.
That's a good call, actually. Now we got Denzel Perryman back, which is nice. We were all really happy. How much rust is going to be out there with him, Jake? He's been out a few weeks. Should we worry about that, or do you think we're going to get the Denzel Perryman we're used to seeing?
No, I mean, if anything, it's going to make the players around him better. His presence being out there, I don't think there's any rust at all that he's going to have to go through. He's been through this enough already. For the duration of the time that he didn't play at all in the starting rotation last year. Look what he did when he came in, off the bench and was, made the starter the last 6 weeks of the season. So he's going to be ready to go. And if anything, it would be nice seeing what his presence actually does with the combination of the way that, Corey Toomer's been playing the last couple of weeks and seeing what he's going to be able to generate with him. So, I mean, it's definitely going to help as far as sustaining some of that run offense that Houston likes to put forth.
The last point I'm going to be bringing up here for our defense is DeAndre Hopkins. He's had a pretty quiet year, actually. And the thing that worries me a little bit, he's got a quarterback that none of us agree is good. But DeAndre Hopkins is good. He is really, really good. And unfortunately for us in our secondary, we have Casey Hayward, who has played outstanding. But after that, you got Craig Mager, which is a drop-off. You can make the big argument. My boy. He hasn't had a terrible year. Let's be realistic here. Realistic Rob here. He hasn't had a terrible year, but he hasn't had a great year either. And we got Trevor Williams, Jaleel Addae is going to be back, and now I really wonder. First of all, I wonder how much rust he has on him. Number one, number two, over under second quarter before he throws himself at anybody and kills himself.
Yeah,
under.
When he torpedoes into a player and gets
exactly.
another.
Maybe during pregame warmups, he might take out somebody. One of his own teammates.
Take out the person with the puppy sign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
just be injured the rest of the
I hope
day.
that becomes a thing, guys.
Yeah.
I hope someone has a sign about Philip Rivers every time he goes away. That's hilarious.
Dwight Lowry, as much as I've tried to be
sucks.
positive, Patty, about Dwight Lowry, he's been a huge disappointment, and we're going to all credit Jake for calling that early, saying that we weren't going to get anything out of him, and he was right after that signing was all over that. Adrian, I worry about our secondary because they have a very, very good wide receiver who is itching to have a big game, and I hope that is not today. Are we going to keep DeAndre Hopkins quiet, or is he going to step up and have 100 yards and a couple touchdowns, Jake? Give me your mini prediction before we have the real predictions.
Honestly, who knows? If Casey Hayward is on DeAndre Hopkins for this entire game, then I'll say that's a
I'm okay with that.
Goes down, but I don't know if that's the case. If you pair Hopkins up with any other defensive backs on our system, the way that they've been playing the last couple of weeks, they have been getting torched through the air and downfield for big plays. Just look at look what happened 2 weeks ago in Miami. I mean, it was just it was down the field all the time.
Well, let's not forget about Will Fuller either, guys. He's a very capable wide receiver.
Yeah.
Wow. Against us, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just saying, there's options there on that Houston offense. So let's not. I feel like Will Fuller will probably have the bigger day just because Craig Mager's
What about
garbage.
a guy like, I know he's converted, and I know that he's been kind of quiet. He had a touchdown last week, Braxton Miller. You got to think, okay, so he's a converted quarterback. He might be a couple years away from being something legit, but he's going to be going up against, maybe Trevor Williams or Craig Mager or something. He's got a chance to really do something as well today. We don't have enough talent out there in our secondary to stop them, and that includes everybody past Casey Hayward. And I'm actually including Jaleel Day because we don't know what we're going to get from him. To be honest with you,
you're going to get a concussion. That's what you're going to get.
Yeah,
okay, that's what you're going to just stop it.
Yeah,
he's going to go out in the second quarter.
Yeah, a concussion or a broken bone in a 20-point game that means nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think Justin bring up Will Fuller is a really interesting name because Will Fuller is fast.
Yeah.
And Devontae Parker killed us
Yes.
the Dolphins, and it wasn't Jarvis Landry who plays a more similar role to DeAndre Hopkins, a short intermediate guy, but it was the long deep passes with Devontae Parker, and again, I don't know who's going to cover Will Fuller because he can just burn by our secondary and go for those deep passes. So, great point, Justin. That's a new thing that really just got me really worried about today.
Well, it's bad because they have so much speed, and you're right, Mikey. He is a definite threat on that offense.
We're gonna take a break from there. We're trying to wrap the show up kind of early today because we want to. We want to give everybody a chance to watch the actual game. We want to get ourselves a chance to watch the game. So take a quick break. We're going to come back with Jake. Jake, don't hang up. Favorite part of the show, and that's prediction time. And for those of you waiting, I got some interesting predictions. Realistic Rob is coming out with some predictions today. So we'll be back in. I'm going to take a quick 15-second break, and we're going to be right back.
Superchargers, there's nobody that goes harder. Blue and yellow thunderbolts, we ain't gonna wait much longer. Bring in
Cali Comfort Barbecue in Spring Valley was built for West Coast Sunday morning football and fight night. Cali Comfort Barbecue has quickly become San Diego's slow smoke barbecue sports entertainment destination. Full service catering available for all your tailgating needs. CaliComfortSD.com.
Everywhere you go, all you gonna see is that blue and yellow, blue and yellow. You hear the crowd go live, look at all our fan support. We appreciate you. You are who we do.
All right, we're back. We're ready for Jake's prediction time. There will be no technical difficulties, Jake. You're not disconnecting your phone. You are going to have to make a prediction here. I'm going to start us off. This is Realistic Rob's first prediction, and here we go. I predict the Texans win this game 31-24.
What?
My player of the game for the Chargers is Joe Barksdale because I think he's only going to allow one sack and he's going to only have 2 false starts today. And that's going to make him the player of the game.
Wow, that's stupid.
Watch just talking about Joe Barksdale and the horrible game that he had this week on next week's show.
Yeah, hey, 1 sack and 2 false starts would be a fantastic game. I'd vote him into the Pro Bowl if that's all he did today.
Wow.
Also, my loss for the season, we're going to lose Matt Slauson. This will be his last game of the year, so
nice.
Enjoy it.
Excited.
And here's my I got 2 bold predictions. My first bold prediction is the Chargers will win the turnover battle and lose the game. And my second bold prediction is actually going to be a positive one, and that's going to be Isaiah Burst will have 50 all-purpose yards today, which isn't that much, but for somebody who we haven't heard a whole lot from, that's what I think is going to happen. Justin, go for it. What's your score?
Well, I don't see us winning this game today either. I hope we do, but 37-24. I think the Chargers gave up too many big chunk plays today. I hope the defense can cause some mischief back there, but I don't know. I feel like we're so depleted. But player of the game for me will probably be Melvin Gordon. I hope they run him early and often. I'd love to see him get 100 and a couple TDs. That'd be nice. Guy that we're going to lose for the season will be, of course, Casey Hayward because he's our last available.
Yeah.
Starting corner. Bold prediction. I'll go with Phillip throwing for 400 yards today, but not as many touchdowns, obviously.
400
there you
yards. Go. All right, Jake, your turn. Score.
It's funny. I just why I hate these damn things, Jason.
Mm-hmm.
Just
the fact that you hate them makes me like it so much.
Right, because I hate this, and it's always because if the Chargers were a more consistent team, this would be much more enjoyable, much more easier to do. And we've said it time and time again. The times that the Chargers are supposed to win games, they end up losing, and the games that they're supposed to lose, they end up winning. And you look at stat-wise, a lot of things favor the Chargers in this game, especially coming off of a bye. But Houston still hasn't lost at home this season. You brought up the road record of the Chargers. It has not been good at all. So I'm going to say, even with everything being hyped up, even with us being well rested, getting a couple players back in the fold, Houston, I think, is going to be more desperate for this game than San Diego is, just because of the fact that they're gearing up to win their division. They have to keep pace with everybody. Whereas, I know that some people might disagree with me and saying, who needs this win more? Let's just be real here, guys. The rest of the AFC West is just way too far ahead to have any type of impact down the future. So I'm going to say Houston pulls it out today. I'm going to say 20-17. Okay. You guys are talking about players being lost for the season. I'll say that it's going to be Melvin Ingram that's going to be gone for the season. I'll say player of the game is actually going to be Joey Bosa. As far as bold predictions goes, I'll say Melvin Gordon has a 100-yard game today and 1 touchdown.
Nice.
And I'll agree with Jason in the turnover battle that the Chargers are going to have actually not 1 but 2 interceptions today.
But still lose
not
the
Craig
game.
Mager.
Not one by Craig.
Yeah,
not one.
I tell you what, like I said before, positive. First of all, Hal's already trying to change my name from Realistic Rob to Jaded Jason.
Ooh, I like that one.
Jaded Jason's actually pretty good. I might take that. And I agree with hardly anything that Hal says, but I think that he could be right because I am pretty jaded. But I like I said before, I do not think that my prediction will come true, but I'm still rooting for it to come true because then I could say how awesome that was that I made it and it came true. Mikey, you still with us? You going to make a prediction for us?
Yeah. I actually get to finally make a prediction. Really quick, Jake brought up a great point. Remember at the beginning of the season when we did where the Chargers was finished in the AFC West? It's so sad to see, it's like the other 3 teams and then us at the bottom.
Yeah.
Like, it's terrible. But, the game means a lot more for the Texans. Again, I know, Darren brought up whose offense would you rather have, the Chargers or the Texans. I'm not sure, guys. I really am not. And I know I'd rather have the Texans defense. So I think it's going to be 34-27 Texans. Rivers will probably throw his usual 3 interceptions, focal point on the cornerbacks. And, I think the positive Melvin Gordon will probably score a touchdown. Will get me to 10. And, whoever Justin Evans' fantasy team will go off to. So whatever
Thank
that
you,
is,
buddy. Appreciate
yeah,
that.
you're going to have a great day fantasy-wise.
Hunter Henry, thank you.
Hunter Henry's going to score a touchdown as well. He's going to get one in there. But, I really feel like comparing, again, I don't know who I'd rather have on offense, but I know I'd rather have the Texans defense. And I think it's just going to be a close one, but I really can't see us pulling this one out.
Yeah,
we all went with losses. I think that's the first time we've ever done that.
Well, yeah, because Jason finally went with the loss.
Jason never predicts a loss.
It might not be the last time this season, boys. Unfortunately, Jaded Jason has seen the light, and we were talking before the show, and I don't even want to start talking about it, but Jake's starting to talk about draft position already, and it sucks.
Why not?
Yeah, man. I already got 5 that I can't wait to start rattling off on this show. So
yeah.
I mean,
By the way, we're sitting at 11 in the draft picks, so let's keep losing some more so we can get higher.
Let's get some losses up in here, dude. I need a new left tackle.
There you go, Mike. That's one thing that you and I actually agree on. Now we're a dynamic duo rather than a villain and a superhero.
We need
I know, man.
We need a left and a right tackle, boys. Let's be honest. All right. Once again, I know that I'm jaded. We're all upset by the way the season's gone. This is game 11 of 16. We still get NFL football. Let's enjoy that. Let's go out and maybe we'll luck out and the Chargers will prove us wrong. I don't think they will, but they'll come out and they'll actually play off of a bye and look like they want to win. Justin, as usual, awesome. Thanks for being here. Mikey, whatever. Jake.
Thanks, man. I love you guys too.
Jake, thanks for being here, and thanks for not accidentally disconnecting the phone for the prediction section. We appreciate it. We look forward to
No, that's your
All right, guys. Have a good Sunday. Cheers.
All right, everybody enjoy the day, man.
Thank you for listening to the San Diego Sports Junkies, a show for fans by the fans. Brought to you by Cali Comfort, home of the low and slow barbecue, and SK Digital Imaging with Josh Taylor, Justin Smead, Jason Eidsmoe, and Mike Maciejewski. Subscribe to us on iHeartRadio, on Spreaker, and on iTunes. Visit SanDiegoSportsJunkies.com for all your Chargers, Padres, and Aztecs news.